Hello, students. Students, today I'm going to explain you this poem, The Schoolboy, and it is from your book, Honeydew, right? And this poem, The Schoolboy, is written by William Blake. Okay, students, basically, this poem is written from the perspective of a schoolboy. Okay, first of all, let's know about the poet, William Blake. Born on 28th of November 1757 and he died on 12th of August 1827. He was an English poet, painter, and printmaker. Largely unrecognized during his lifetime, Blake is now considered a seminal figure in the history of the poetry and visual arts of the Romantic age. Basically, initially, he was not recognized, was not so famous, but now he's considered a very important figure in the history of poetry and visual arts of Romantic age, right? He was a very successful, William Blake was a very successful poet, and this poem is one of an extract from his work. Okay, so let's just quickly go through the introduction of the poem. Basically, the poem The Schoolboy by William Blake is written from the perspective of a young boy, school going boy, who hates going to school in a disciplined way, right? He hates going to school and rather desires to be like the birds. He wanted to, he want to be like birds, can fly freely. Basically, he desires for freedom. He wants freedom. Okay, for him, school is just like a prison or just like a cage which does not allow the creativity of a person to flourish. So, according to the schoolboy, right? So, basically, this schoolboy he thinks that schools are just like a cage, they are just like cages, okay, a prison where a person cannot, use his or her creativity, cannot grow personally or flourish. So basically in this poem we are going to see that why is this young boy thinking so and why is he unhappy, right? So let's start with the poem, students. First of all, let's go through stanza 1. I love to rise in a summer morn where the birds sing on every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what sweet company. So in this stanza, the speaker, this young boy, right? He says that he loves to rise up or wake up in the summer, in a summer morn, like in a summer morning. He likes to wake up when the birds sing on every tree, when the birds are singing on every tree. He just enjoys that. Okay, and the distant, the far away huntsman, a hunter, winds his horn. That means he just blows his horn in search of hunt, he just blows his horn. Okay, so he like all that. And the skylark sings with me. Skylark is a brown colored bird, students. Skylark is a brown colored bird. Okay, so this school boy is like, I love the company of this skylark bird which sings with this boy. So he just likes it. Okay, oh, what sweet company. So he just enjoys this company. He just enjoy the sweetest melodious music of this skylark. Okay, so it's just sweet company. Okay, so basically in this stanza, the speaker is like, describing all the good things, like he like sweet singing of the birds, okay, and the hunters who move in the forest searching for hunt. He love all that. Okay, and even the skylark. Okay, he just likes singing with that bird, skylark, right? But to go to school in a Sunday morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. So in this second stanza, students, the kid is, the schoolboy is like, but to go to school, he hates going to school. So he's like, but to go to school in such a Sunday morning, it drives away all the joy. That means it just takes away all the joy. Sara joy khatam ho jata hai if we have to go to school in the morning, right? This is the feeling of this boy. Okay, under a cruel eye outworn, students, here cruel eye outworn, it's here he's talking about the cruel eyes or that strictness of teachers he's talking about. Cruel eye outworn is like, he's talking about the strictness that is there in the school and that is there in the classroom under the eye of a teacher. Okay. The little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. So, under such restrictions, the little ones, the children in the school, okay, they just spend the day in sighing, in sadness and dismay. Dismay is just like, distress when you are stressed. Okay, so such restrictions stress children. Okay, this stanza basically present the things that drive all the joy away. So basically in this stanza we have seen number of things that the things that just drive away all the joy, जो सारे joy को क्या कर देते हैं, decrease, खत्म कर देते हैं, okay, diminish कर देते हैं. Fine. So this is the second stanza where this boy is saying that whenever he thinks of going to school, all this joy that we have seen in the first stanza, all that just goes away. Ah, then at times I drooping sit and spend many an anxious hour. Nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's bower, worn through with dreary shower. So in this stanza, this boy is saying that at times I drooping sit. I just sit drooping. Drooping is like when you are boring and you sit like this, in the posture that this boy is sitting. Okay, when you just feel like it's so boring. Okay, you sit like that. Okay, so I drooping sit and I spend many an anxious hour. Anxious is when you are worried about something. Okay, so he's like, and when you are not uneasy or you are uncomfortable. Okay, so here this boy says that I sit like this and I just spend anxious hours, worried hours, tensed hours. Nor in my book can I take delight, that I am not even happy with my books. That means I'm not happy with, all the reading part. I don't like reading. I'm not happy with delight is like when you're happy. Okay, so nor in my book can I take delight, that I don't go happy with my books even, nor sit in learning's bower. Okay, so even learning's bower, actually bower is like shelter. Bower is shelter. Okay, learning's bower means where you learn, shelter where you learn. So that's a classroom. Okay, and nor he wants to sit in such classrooms, worn through with dreary shower. Worn through is bored from these dreary, dull lessons, large lectures, lengthy lectures of the teachers. So he just get bored of all this too. So he says that he sits, like this, drooping sit without any interest, and he spend worried hours in the classroom, and nor is he interested in books. Books don't give him joy, and he just sit in, and nor he want to sit in these boring, classrooms, and he don't want to hear these large lectures, long lectures. So basically in this stanza he's just explaining all the things that he don't want to do, okay, that he don't like, okay, about the schools. Now let's move on. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child when fears annoy but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? So in this stanza, students, the poet is comparing himself, this speaker, this little boy, school boy, is comparing himself to a bird which is there in a cage, a bird that lives in a cage, जो पिंजरे में रहती है bird, okay, that is trapped in a cage. So he says that how can a bird that is born to joy, how can that bird sit in a cage and sing? कैसे वो bird एक cage में बैठ के sing कर सकती है? Same way, how can a child when fears annoy but droop his tender wing? In the same way, how can a child who is, fear, right? Who is in fear in the school, who is in fear in the classroom, how can such a boy, enjoy that youthful spring? How can he just, do what he wants to or what he can? How can he do that? So he says like, how can a boy who's under a situation of fear in the classroom, how can just this boy, like he will forget his innocence, he'll forget all that, Okay, and he'll just drop down his wings of freedom. Here, wings means wings of freedom. He'll just drop down these wings of freedom. Okay, and he will forget his childhood innocence. And he will, youthful spring is that he will forget his childhood innocence. Okay, due to this fear, obviously, this kid, this boy will what? He'll just lose his innocence. वो अपना childhood खो देंगे. Okay, that is what he feels about himself. So here he has just compared himself with a bird which is there in a cage. Right? Let's move on to the last stanza, students. O father and mother, if buds are nipped and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, by sorrow and care's dismay, how shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? Students, in this stanza, the schoolboy, the speaker, right? In this stanza, he just gives a message to his parents that if buds are nipped, buds means you can say the baby plants. Like buds are like when the plants just grow, the baby ones. Okay, so he's like if buds are nipped or destroyed, nipped means destroyed. If buds are nipped and blossoms blown away, if flowers just blow away with the strong wind, they just blow away by the wind, and if the tender plants are stripped, tender means soft plants. Okay, so it's like if these soft plants which are not so strong, if they are stripped, if they are removed of their joy in the springing day, if they are removed in a springing day by sorrow and care's dismay, okay, if such plants are removed by sorrow, by sadness, if they don't have if they are not happy, if they are removed, how shall the summer arise in joy? Kaise summer, how will the summer be joyous? How will it have joy? Or how will summer fruits appear? Summer ke jo fruits hote hain, how will they appear then? Okay, so basically students, in this stanza, this kid, this schoolboy is asking his parents, like basically giving message to his parents that if buds, like if a kid, here buds means a kid, if a child is destroyed in the sense if he is not given his freedom, if he is destroyed, okay, of sadness, if he is destroyed, if he is not happy, okay, then how will he perform well? Like how will he be creative? How he'll be do well in his work in future? Just like a withered, a dried up plant, if it is dried up, then how will summer fruits come in it? Okay, how will the summer fruits bear on it? Okay, so basically he's like, in the same way as withered plants cannot have fruits, in the same way, if I am not happy, this boy is saying, if I'm not happy, then how will I perform well? How will I do well in life? Okay, so he's like, everyone should be joyous if they want to perform well. Okay, in the same way, just like if these plants, if these buds are stripped, if these plants are not there, then how, if they are withered, if they just dried up, then how will they bear good summer fruits, right? So this is how a poem comes to an end, students. I hope you all have understood the poem, students. So basically this boy loves summer mornings, but since he had to go to school, you know it is like he doesn't like going to school. Okay, he doesn't enjoy there, it's like a burden for this boy. He doesn't enjoy long lectures and all. Okay, and he compares himself to a bird in a cage and a withered plant or a dried up plant, right? Okay, so students, go through the poem again, read line by line. Okay, you should know the meaning of main words, each and every line, right? If you find any problem, please contact me, right? I'll see you all soon. Till then, just take care, students. Keep studying. Thank you.